Yeah, I'm Mega. Peace. Welcome back to the Unnamed Album Review Coalition.
Jet XL, London, UK.
What up, DJ L Spade? I do stuff.
I feel like you guys should probably pay attention to a lot of the other things that we do. They're really incredible and special. As soon as we have a name for this, we'll also tell you about this more often. I'm guessing we'll have a name by the next time that we record.
By the time any of you see this, we'll have a name.
Yeah. I'm going to try to release this recording pretty quickly because this album just dropped, and I would like us to be on the cutting edge of reviewing this one. And today, we're focusing on Haram, which is the newest album from Armand Hammer. Armand Hammer is an MC duo of Elucid and Billy Woods. This time they are working exclusively with the Alchemist, which is a different approach to any of their music. And this is going to be like their fifth album, LP, since 2013. And yeah, so first, before we go into it, let's talk a little bit about our experiences with Armand Hammer. Let's start with you, Spade, because you're not familiar with him, right?
No, I am. Like, hey, shock the world, right? Paraffin was a dope album, right? Like,
okay,
that was a dope album. I love the beats on it. It took like a kind of experimental thing.
Always.
As you would notice that I really focus on production a lot because I make beats. But yeah, so the production and everything was good on Paraffin, which kind of shocked me when I got to this album. I'm like, oh my God, what are we doing here? But I'll say that for later. But yeah, dope duo.
Okay, so you are familiar with
Yeah.
them. Okay. How about any of the solo projects?
No, not solo projects.
I've heard some of Elucid stuff.
Okay.
I'm not really familiar. I listened to Paraffin previous to when we decided to review this record. Like, obviously we decided to review it before it dropped. So I listened to that Paraffin joint just because I wanted to get a feel.
Right.
I'd heard songs. I'd never actually sat down and listened to an entire project before.
Did you like Paraffin?
Yeah.
I thought it was dope. Yeah, it's dope.
But honestly, and we're gonna differ on this one. I really liked this record. Like, I liked this one more than Paraffin.
Okay. Well, me, I've been a big fan of Billy Woods and Elucid for at least Billy Woods over a decade. He's one of the old definitive jooks, like in the background figures. So I think he does both of them come from that tradition of underground, dusty, digital, East Coast, avant-garde stylists that, unlike the West Coast, they're more like New Yorican cafe, spoken word, Mike Ladd style lyricists, deliberate bars and stuff. So I really do fuck with it. I really do like it. But for me, a lot of times the songs that I do like and the songs that I don't like as much from their albums depend upon the beat, because I feel like the writing is always pretty consistent. Sometimes there's a real standout verse, but the writing is usually pretty consistent by these cats. And of my favorite work of all of them, if I had to rate both their entire catalogs, including these, duo albums, I think at the top of the list is probably going to be a Billy Woods project.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the previous albums, Paraffin is above Shrines, but not by much. And every year that they release an album, it's ended up on my top 10. It ended up on my top 5. So clear to say I'm a fan of these motherfuckers.
Yeah, I see.
I could see this on my top 10.
Not mine at all. But I mean, I respect you guys' opinion, but not for me. But to be fair, I'm not really into underground rap that much. It comes off a bit pretentious to me.
Oh, this record could definitely be
Super
construed as pretentious.
Oh, it's super pretentious, dude.
Coda is underground rap too, though. You mean the weird shit?
Yeah, I wouldn't call Coda
as a pretentious
man.
dude. Like, I could really vibe with this record.
See,
but I don't think I feel like the elements of the album that you might consider pretentious, some of the weird like polyrhythmic stuff going on in the production, like the way that the flows kind of just like use the beat more as a suggestion than like a set like quantized thing to work with, are all like very specific choices that have been made that are not just experimentation for the sake of experimentation or weird.
They're
for the
steeped
sake
in
of
traditions.
Yes.
Yeah, steeped in traditions of the art form. Yeah.
Really?
Let's get into it.
I
Let's
felt
get into
this
it.
album was kind of scatterbrained. Honestly, I felt like it was all over the place. I felt like it wasn't a consistent project. Like, people were just like, I felt like this was an album they did like, hey guys, you want to do an album? Let's do an album. That's how it felt like to me. Honestly, listen to the whole projects. Like, the beats, the Alchemist beats that were used they're Alchemist beats, so you can't like knock that. But because Alchemist knows how to put together a sample, like.
But this record doesn't sound like anything Alk has done in the last few years. Like you compare this to like Alfredo or Lamb Over Rice by Action Bronson. Like
I felt like the production choices that Alchemist made on this are very deliberate and an attempt
Well
to
suited
create
towards-
an atmosphere for
Yeah.
them in general. It doesn't
Really?
sound like anything that he's ever made.
I'm saying, but the whole project, does it seem like it was something planned to you? Does it feel like a project like
Well-
they went into it like this is the image we're going for? Does it seem like that to you? Because it don't seem like that to me.
I think that this, and I don't know how it was made, but I think that this is the type of project where there was like, you know, maybe Alchemist reached out to them largely because he's the bigger artist and was like, let's do something. They sent a variety of beats and then they worked with it. Alchemist got him back, tweaked him, sent him back. I do believe that this is not a process where they sent some vocal stems and Alchemist threw them over. I believe that this was a true collaborative project, and I think it comes across as that, and I think it sounds like that.
I think it sounds like Alchemist heard these guys like, hey, let's do a project. Yeah, I don't know, just send some beats and I'll rap.
Oh no, I didn't get that from it at
Okay,
all.
well, it's a lot of word salad in this one for me.
Well, I think that's also like another thing. It does come from that tradition of word salad, but
it's
but
playful. Like it's a
yeah.
playful record. Like considering the mood is quite like dark.
Is it playful?
and- yeah, they're playing with words. They're playing with sounds in a way that is experimental, and yet at the same time it's considered and it's thoughtful.
No, I don't.
I mean,
I don't say thoughtful.
peep, like, all right, this is a lyric that I feel is playful. Iridescent blackness, is this performative or praxis? And they say, we talking about praxis. They bring
praxis?
they
Iverson,
bring in the
yeah.
Iverson sample and rock the kufi backwards. Magical Negro Wesley Snipes taxes.
Yeah, that was.
I mean, like, it's playful. It's because they are though, but they it also comes from. This is like a Miri Baraka if he grew up listening to Cannibal Locks and Company Flow and smoking fucking blunts dipped in fucking, you know, dust. Like it's a strange album. What I know when I introduce somebody to like an Aesop Rock or to a Billy Woods, that most people are going to listen to it and be like, I don't get any of this. But I really see a lot more intention in the lines, and I see a lot of through lines. I see their politics dripping through in a whole variety of ways. That this album is so substantially much more dense that a listen in 2 days, I'm not able to do any of the kind of lyrics justice other than pulling bars that sound interesting to me. But like,
really, can you though? Like, okay,
dog, I even wrote like, look, the transcript reads like a Cameron skit. Something wrong with motherfuckers. I don't know what it is. Am I my brother's keeper? I got my own shit. Excuse me. I got excuses. I got excuses. If you don't get anything out of that, I don't know what to tell you.
Here's the problem I have with underground rap in general, right? Because, and this is me, as a character flaw. I can find meaning in everything. So I think some of these lyrics you can reach off and try to find meaning. However, it's not necessarily anything deep or meaningful in these lyrics.
See,
I'm
I
just
get
saying.
that. I get that a lot. But what it suggests is that the artist doesn't have an intention to deliver some type of message, and you don't feel like pulling anything
I'm
out.
not saying that. I'm just saying it's all subjective. in
All
underground
art is
rap.
subjective.
I know that's the thing, right? It's like, okay, what makes it art? It's because we all have a consensus this is art. However, some of these bars, okay,
Oh, bringing out the notes. The notes.
it's like, hold on, because he made a reference to a city in Afghanistan, didn't talk about the Bentley. I forgot the bar exactly, but he was talking about Afghanistan. Was it Biamin? He was talking about that, and he's like, yeah. Well, damn it, man, let me get the lyrics together.
Well, I mean, I agree with you 100% that all of this is not something that each bar is so deliberate that the connections are easy to be made.
Just felt like he was talking at me, like the group was talking at me, especially Billy Wood. Like, I feel like you're just talking at me. You're just saying, "Hey, I got these big, rather extended vocabulary. I'm gonna throw words out at you. Words." That's how I felt.
See, I feel like that take. Like you could have a take that is different, but I feel like that take is really dismissive of any attempt to try to understand what they're getting at.
Is it though?
I mean, I get a lot out of this. I get a lot out of this.
There's a lot of.
I mean, like even
analysis to
right.
to be had. Yeah, I'm
I
with
get a
Meg on
lot
this
out of
one.
this. I mean,
Really?
well, I mean, I don't know. I'm a poetry head. Do you read poetry at all whatsoever?
I felt like this was spoken word, right? I feel like this was just spoken word over a beat, but it was presented to me in the hip hop gaze. So looking at it through hip hop, rhythm and poetry, rap, but it just didn't hit for me. I just felt like if this was a poetry slam, I've been all in. But like over these Alchemist beats and you rapping like this, I just wasn't there. I was
Play
like,
Bob's
okay.
son.
Oh, I don't
Play
think he
Bob's
likes
son.
Well, see, but the thing about Bob's son is that is very clearly an intentional approach to
yes,
rapping
poetry
on poetry.
as the lens,
But
yeah.
like, if you listen to these guys, like this is a rich tradition of different rap styles, and these are uniquely their styles. These are the jazz men of the hip hop generation now. Guys walking around like Serengeti and Open Mike Eagle. These guys don't. They're their own beings. They are the high art of an aesthetic.
I think it's telling that Earl
I
was a
definitely-
feature on here. Like, is Earl the...
So you don't think that these guys are good at rapping?
No, I didn't say that.
You
I didn't
don't
say they
think
wasn't good at rapping.
You don't think that these guys have good poetry?
I didn't say that either.
No, what I'm asking, because you're saying it's a word salad, and
I'm
to me that
saying-
suggests that it's nonsense.
Okay, no, I'm saying sometimes an apple is an apple. Let me tell you the story real quick. So I was in a movie, right? And I was reading the script, and it's this part of the movie. I was talking to the director because it was part that said the man eats a red apple. When I came to the director, like, yo, is this a symbolism for da 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 da? And the director was like, no, it's a red apple. That's how I felt like listening to some of these verses. Like, yo, it's just an apple. I'm not looking for deeper meaning in here because I don't see the deeper meaning in this. And maybe that's like my take on it. But a lot of this, I'm just like, okay, guys, you're trying too hard. Or were you trying too hard?
I mean, even a simple sentence, like, that's one of the things that on the early listen to me, I get a sentence out of it, and it's like something that completely relates. Is this performative or praxis? What does that mean to you? That
you asking me now?
Yeah. I mean, like, what does that mean to you?
All right, so praxis is a test, right? So, like, I can look at it. No, it's just a test. I'm saying, you asking me, man. You shaking your head. You asking me how I think about it, right? So, praxis for me, like, is this performative or praxis? Are we taking a test or are we practicing, right? For me. I could have the meaning totally wrong, but that's what it means to me because it's all subjective.
Well, I think that's probably another aspect of some of the disconnect on this. I think that a lot of these ideas, like the name Armand Hammer itself, is the
there's a big political hint in that one.
And one of the biggest things about, like, in our political climate right now, and I think that this is riddled with a lot of political takes and political ideas, is performative blackness or actual praxis, which means not applying theory to like what you're doing
To action.
Okay.
And so is it performative blackness or is it fucking praxis? Is this really something, or is this just me being performative, like a Black Lives Matter hashtag on your shit? So all throughout the album, I'm getting these type of lines, and in the context of them as an artist that I've listened to before, which you have too, I see a through line of when I hear this, I hear fucking like, it's clear that they've read Gregory Corso. It's clear that they are fucking fans of Amiri Baraka. It's clear that they're fucking leftists to me.
Yes.
It's clear that they're leftists, and so I get a lot of that from it. And not only on top of that, there's this other esoteric hinge that comes with like supreme mathematics and new Wabianism, Dr. Malachi Z. York shit. So it's like, this is dense enough that the average person listens to it. They do get that. Like, what the fuck is this talking about?
Yeah.
The same accusation is levied against Aesop Rock, but I feel like Aesop Rock is easy as shit to understand if you make the effort to understand.
I mean, in that context, yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying in that context. But I'm just saying, in general, a lot of this is just for me personally.
Not an
just like,
enjoyable listen for you. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, I'm not against that. I don't think that this is for everybody. I actually never recommend this album
I
to
would not.
anybody.
I
would
would
never
not.
recommend it to you or to most of my rap friends.
But
would
in the
struggle to
group
recommend
who
it.
likes this, I can see this being like y'all jam. But once again, not being into underground hip hop myself that much, I'm just like,
Underground hip hop happened 20 years ago. That shit is gone.
I'm sorry.
This
This
is-
is the genre they
this
put
is-
it in. Underground,
this is-
backpack, underground,
Most people don't know where hip hop went quietly.
to the underground.
Into the night.
Yeah,
No, I mean, like, I get it. I get it. This is not for a lot of people. A lot of people don't like this style of rapping.
I think the cover of the record is a big hint as to what you're getting yourself into, in that this isn't like, you said like this is your jam earlier. I would never, like, if any track off this record came on at a club for whatever reason, I wouldn't be like, oh, yo, this is my jam. I'd be
Oh, no,
like,
you
wait,
wouldn't.
why are they playing?
What's going
Why
on?
are they
Right,
playing
yeah.
the Armand Hammer? Like,
Right.
and I like this record a lot, but it is a piece to be analyzed and broken down and like listened to with headphones on.
I see.
And I'm kind of slightly at a loss to talk about this record today because I've only listened to it once.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
4 or 5 times for me.
Since Friday? Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
I listened to it Friday night as it dropped.
It dropped on Friday.
40 minutes.
And it is Sunday at the time of recording. So it's been like 2 days to listen to it. I was staying at my girlfriend's place. So I...
Humble flex?
And this was... well, this is...
man got... Hey!
Humble flex.
This is not a record that I could have just been like, yo, you mind if I play this Armand Hammer real quick while we chillin'? Like, she would have been like, yo, what is this? Like she's read Baudrillard, so like I can't imagine that that's something that would have vibed in that scenario. So having just listened to it the one time, like there was a lot going on right now. But even if you ask me like, what's your favorite track off the album right now? I would probably struggle, off the top of my head to think about, I need to bring up the track list in
I
front
can
of
tell
me.
you the worst track on the album. God's Feet. I'm like, yo, what's up with all this singing, man? I didn't get into no bars until like a minute and a half in. I'm like, yo, what are we doing? I'm like, bro, come on.
Slow that horn fast.
Like, yo, what are we doing?
Not crazy about that like hummed singing part on God's Feet either.
Get a singer.
But the ending though, the outro track, Stone Fruit with him singing, I'd like to hear that on karaoke. That shit reminds me of the end of Green Think, Blindfold. It's dope. It's a throwback to like 60s fucking psych albums.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure.
I think a lot of this is very intentional, and I think the 2 days that we had to listen to it are not enough for me to really determine like how great I think the album is. But I think that for a lot of people, a 2-minute listen of this is enough for them to be like, I'm good, and I think that's fine, and I think that's fair.
Now, to be fair, the album was good. It was a decent album.
Can I get back to you because you're a beat guy? You didn't like these beats? Dog, okay, I got one beat that I want to talk about before you get into is Pepper Tree, right? Pepper Tree starts off and it's like reverse loop, right? It's a strange reverse loop and it keeps going, and then about a minute and a half into it, it doesn't reverse the loop, but it brings in a vocal sample that is like the same kind of tempo and melody as the reverse, and it sounds almost like the beat was reversed, but it is not. It is fucking hard, and that is not him just being like, here's some sounds that sampled records. That's him intentionally trying to make that aesthetic. And I thought a lot of the beats on this were really dope, but a few God's Feet is another one that I just it hits a little bit on a day like this, but it was one that I found myself not going back to as much.
Now, production was solid, right? It was solid because, once again, Alchemist knows how to like rip a sample. People don't know sampling is an art form. Thanks for giving me that book too. Beat making. I actually got it with me right now.
How to make beats. Joseph Slosh. It's really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Check it out.
They need to write another now that sampling has changed so much. It's 20 years old, but ethnographic approach.
He
studying
can
the culture.
Definitely like construct a sample well. Like even the soul samples and stuff and how he chopped it, brilliant. I just didn't like him. Like I'm not knocking the production. The production was solid and genius. The way the Alchemist chopped samples, I can't do that. I can't. Like just being honest.
But I
can't.
I mean, likewise, like not in a million years. But I think what I liked in particular about the beats on this record is that the mood of it. It was like, it managed to be both like playful and experimental while also being like kind of hard edged, like kind of abrasive, very like street gutter kind of sound.
Stripped down, too.
Very stripped down, which was great because it allows, the MCs on the record to just kind of go off and do their own thing. I mean, your features are guys like Earl Sweatshirt and Quelle Chris, who are also
that feature was booty. The
Earl feature?
Yeah.
I mean,
I was not feeling it at all. It was booty.
Earl, I don't know if you've been listening to new Earl, but he raps more like this now than Chum. Yeah, it's all poetry from him now. But that's the tradition he comes from. His father is one of the last poets. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
All right. I mean, I felt like this album was, and I'm not trying to say this is a pejorative way. It felt like a bad freestyle session.
After what you said about Coda, I just feel like
cars, hit the men. Go to Mars. I felt like I just felt like
I feel like your one listen. You need to try to listen harder.
Oh my God! Really?
You can't tell me that that you can't. I mean, these are and black people are so good for creating sentences that have never been put together in the human language before. And this album is full of that. And so many of those sentences, even if rock the kufi backwards, you ain't rocking the kufi backwards, dog. I mean, like there's so many here. Like
which is
I just
exactly
there.
what I vibe with about the album. You know, if that's very representative for me, is the fact that it's why it doesn't take itself that seriously for a record that deals with some very heavy subject matter and like is very introspective and has a lot of experimentation and a pretty like dark general sound to it, but at the same time, like that's funny.
I think
like rock the kufi backwards is a funny line.
I'm not saying it's a bad album, but I felt like this album was like a steak with too much marbling in it. Like the meat wasn't there for me. It had a lot of
This
fat.
is some Wagyu?
Yes, it's Wagyu. It's A4,
Some
right?
Wagyu,
It's
A4.
A4, right? Which is great, right? Because it has like a lot of. Okay, the best part of the steak is the fat. That's what makes it tender, right? I just felt like there's too much fat in this. I wanted some stuff, some meat.
I mean, I get what you mean in that maybe the album could have benefited from like some more snares and just like some more straightforward like, all right, we're just gonna go in for a minute.
This album was a think piece, man. I wanted some music, and I got a think piece, and I'm cool. And like, if you want a think piece, that's all right. But when I'm listening to music, sometimes I want you to say what you mean. What do you mean, Armand Hammer?
He said this shit is like Reiki to me. This shit is like Reiki to me. Got caught with the pork. You got to kill the cops in your thoughts.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I don't know. We got to, and then he goes on to say, still say pause. Yeah, I mean, this is, I don't know. I get it. I'm always going to be frustrated when somebody is unable to pull something intelligent out of something that I think is very intelligent.
Well, here's the thing. I can pull something intelligent out of it, but sometimes I don't want to like get into deeper meaning. Like I said,
I mean, we
to a
heard the
flaw.
code of the Tomodachi review. Yeah.
Like I'm saying, to a flaw, sometimes I can find meaning and stuff, but sometimes it is what it is. And like I said, I can sit down and dissect and get something from every line. That doesn't mean that's the right thing, though, because a lot of this is just subjective. Like seriously,
Chicharrones is talking about like how you fuck with pig. Like, are you off the pig? Are you eating it, or are you offering them figs? It's, to me, a lot of it is just it requires a listen that is not one that you don't walk around and look at Tokyo while you do that. You throw the headphones on and you listen to it and you unpackage it. And I think that some art demands that.
Yeah.
And if you don't at least try to listen to it in that with that intention, I think you'll miss something.
That's why I say I only listen to it one time. I don't count like just going to the gym, listening to music, just listening. Yeah. So like when I did this album, I sat down, I listened to it, just sit there and listened. And that's why I came up with these thoughts and ideas. Yeah. But like I said, man, not for me.
Yeah. I mean, I get it.
That's fair.
I get it. We'll we try to keep it. We try to keep it. You know what I mean? Balance a little bit. Of course, we're going to get to underground rap. As we call it. We're going to get to underground rap. But I mean, what people call abstract, we just call lyrics sometimes. And here's another line: we let BLM be the new FUBU.
Nah,
we
I
ain't
agree
bros.
with that, yes.
Wake up like that, hollering at HBCUs. So we. Come on, dog. You don't get that? We were just talking about the HBCU.
Like I said, it's some deep bars in here, but a lot of it is also word salad. Like you're pointing out some good bars, and I agree with those bars.
Okay.
But once again, this time we left the pedestals empty like Biamin. Like, all right, hold on, I mean, yeah, that's a place in Afghanistan,
some
right?
Context. Hold up.
What is Biamin? I mean,
It's a place in Afghanistan, right?
So the pedestals were left empty.
Yeah, like I get it.
Yeah.
But it's just like, did you have to go beyond it? I mean, like, it's like, I get it, man. But it's like, I'm saying, I feel like you're trying too hard. It's like, yeah, I'm going to put Beyond in there because they ain't going to know about this one.
Okay.
I'm going to look this up.
I think we'll just have to agree to disagree on that one.
Yeah.
We'll just have to agree.
So you know,
trying
to me,
too hard is crazy because I could stack also as well, very deliberately or not deliberately. And we used to call this style kind of stacking, right? Mm-hmm. Like stacking free thought association. And sometimes it sticks hard and sometimes it doesn't. But I believe that these are writing down very deliberate thoughts.
So for me, like trying too hard would have been like on our previous review with the Kota joint, where he's like, "Oh, you'll catch me at the top with Hova and Nas," where it's just like, "Look at me, look, I'm with these guys, I'm with these legendary rappers, I'm top tier."
Okay.
That seems like trying too hard to me.
Okay.
Like just like free flow,
Loose thought association,
very like word association, and how you want to pick that apart. I don't know the association between the pedestals.
And there were some
beyond.
bars in the same song that I like, right? He was like, I build a church on top of your mosque, on top of your synagogue. That joint was dope. I mean, I got that. Like,
Yeah.
right? It was some dope bars here. I'm not like knocking the whole project, but I'm just saying, for me, it came off like, yeah, I'm gonna be super philosophical. Y'all ain't gonna get this.
Praxis.
Finna get y'all mental state.
All right. I mean, how do you rate it? How do you guys rate it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? How would you rate it? Hit the like if you like. Yeah, worst teeth in the game. Robinson Mega.
I give this 1 Drake out of 10.
Yeah.
If you're a Drake fan, don't listen to this record. You'll get nothing out of it. Not even meant to be like a, it's not for you. Like, I'm not trying to be snooty about it, but like, if you're trying to listen to some party rap, go listen to some party rap. I've got a Kota the record to say, Kota the record, Kota the friend record.
Man, y'all keep slaughtering the homie Kota's name, man.
We got on him last time.
Young Drew. Kota the friend. I'm sorry,
but,
Kota.
My apologies to Kota the friend. I hope he'll still be my friend after the bad things.
It's over
his
you.
album.
You
Yeah,
get
it's over
some mad
me.
bars
He's
next
gonna definitely subtweet me. But the I would definitely give this 1 diocese out of 6 places of worship. I don't know what that means. I loved it. I think it was great. Word association, word salad. Let's go.
I give this a very strong. I give this a very strong Frank Wilderson Afro pessimism out of a Black Lives Matter. The one Afro pessimism out of the Black Lives Matter. I think that this is a really good version of like Amiri Baraka if he was off that dust. And if he was off that dust, I don't know. I feel like this is 3 eyes. I give this 3 out of 3 eyes. Decalcified pineal gland. You probably got, let's see,
levitating shit around the room.
This is the heart chakra. This is where it's at. I'm with it. I enjoyed this album. I'll go back to this album. I found it to be probably more accessible than their last 3 albums to the average listener because the production is more accessible than songs like Black Garlic or fucking Dead Cars. So I like this album, and I would if I had to recommend this to somebody, I wouldn't recommend this necessarily to my rap fans that like JID or like Nicholas F or even Raekwon the Chef and them. I would recommend this to my homies who might listen to poetry.
Sure.
I might recommend this to cats who read Gregory Corso, and I would also recommend this to anybody who is an Afro pessimist. I feel like this music is very black. Yes. I feel like this music is super. This is Vanta black.
It's black and black. Yeah.
Yeah, it's black as fuck, and I don't think that there's much music out there that is this black and this left.
On the white man's beats.
I mean, this make No Name look like, I don't know, some other neoliberal, and she's a commie. You know what I mean? This is very left and hard. What you got,
in general, man, 1 out of 10. This album's not an easy listen, guys. It's not. It's not something you're gonna sit down and listen to and take it in.
1 out of 10.
No, wait.
One L out of space.
Okay, I thought. Okay.
No, it's not an easy listen, right? You're gonna have to you can't take it in easily and digest it. You're gonna have to listen to this. Even myself personally, as I'm saying this, I'm gonna have to go back and listen to it 2 or 3 times to form a good opinion. But just off the snap, I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10. Even the production, the Alchemist beats were great if you're a producer. You can listen to the beats and appreciate them. However, them just ain't slapping. There's no slappers on this joint whatsoever. It's a lyrical think piece that you're gonna have to be in the mood for. And on that sense, it's not for the every average listener. It's not. So if you're an average, I ain't gonna say average, sounds bad. But if you're just looking for music that you don't have to think about, this is not.
Don't watch these reviews. I don't fuck with that.
So seriously, I mean, I would put this as a 5 out of 10. It's right there, slap dead in the middle. It's not bad. It's actually quite good, but depending on what you're looking for. If you're looking for this, then you'll probably give it a higher rating. But
he's the FIFO. He's the FIFO. Of
This
the
bumps
group,
in FIFO's whip.
This bumps in. This does not bump in the whip.
This is a FIFA with 2
I'm
Mike
glad-
C-Towns, and that's a problem.
right. We need a white boy that's like B. You know what I mean? Or a Kenji. Shout out to all the people that are doing album reviews. I always like talking about music with these brothers, and it's interesting when we come to these places. Go ahead and find this album wherever it's streaming and purchase independent rap music from Coda the Tomodachi.
oh my God,
Coda the Tomodachi, and Haram. Thanks for sticking around. Unnamed show album review.
Unnamed, baby.
Boom.
Fuck the alt-right.
Yeah, you gotta bring that back, man.
Your president is a hologram.